Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTBase.com. Welcome to a weekly COT review. Today we're going to be analyzing the fifth Commitments of Traders report of 2026, and as we always do, we shall start off by looking at the largest changes in commercials net positions. Before I jump to the review, just a brief reminder for anybody who is new to COT analysis here at COTBase.com. You will find a lot of educational material. Not only do we have these in written format, but we have some very useful videos as well that can guide you through the analysis process. And of course, if you have further questions, feel free to comment underneath the video or send us an email to info@cotbase.com. So let's get started with our first market, which is cotton. You can see it's on top of our list with a 30% change in commercials net positions. We are of course analyzing the classic COT report type, futures and options data combined. Let's open the chart. Here we go. You can see this recent change being much greater than average. It is a bullish COT change signal suggesting early next week we may see a bit of a rise coming in the price of cotton. You can always look back on this 1 year's chart and measure and see where this current change stands in relationship. You can see we had a larger than average change over here. The time we got it was actually a bit late for us. There is a bit of a lag. The report shows Tuesday's positioning of traders, but the reports are issued on Friday. So actually this signal right now is a bit better than the one I'm showing you from March of last year, where you can see the market has actually reacted. Would it be nice to see that signal on the Tuesday for the report date, but it is what it is. We don't get to see these just on Fridays. Moving on to a 5 years chart, you can see that we are leaning towards the bullish side of the market. Of course, there has been a bit of a stagnating price here in cotton for the past few years now, actually. So we're not surprised to see traders on this side of the market, commercials being net long, large speculators net short. So I don't think there's much to conclude from the COT Extreme analysis. It's really the change that is a bit more unique, let's say. Moving on to our next market, natural gas. Here we have a 22% change in commercials net positions. This is a bearish COT change signal. There's quite the volatility here in the market. So this signal in itself would suggest weakening in the next few days. However, although it is larger than average, there's no question about that. I'm not quite sure I would put too much emphasis on this COT change signal due to the extraordinary volatility that we see in this market. Moving to a 5 years chart, there's no question that this is a bullish COT Extreme that was in the market for last week, suggesting much higher prices coming in the medium to long term. Something to keep in mind. In the short term, the market can easily decline further. But the fact that we are at these levels suggests that we should be seeing higher prices coming. Soybean oil is our next market. The same 22% change in commercials net positions here. This change is pushing commercials net short. Large speculators are now net long. This is a bearish COT change signal. Top five, I'd say, top five strength. We had the greatest change back over here. This was a bullish COT change signal back in December. It was a very successful signal halting this decline. It followed with another larger than average change, which eventually pushed the market higher. We are at a level where we're getting this larger than average bearish change signal. Let's see what the 5 years chart tells us. With these dynamic moves, we are getting closer to a neutral zone. Not at a bearish extreme. You can see on this 5 years chart that there's plenty of space to get to those levels. The last major extreme that is still taking its effect on the market is this bullish one from early December, pushing the market higher. Moving on to large speculators COT Extreme analysis. And by the way, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to our YouTube channel so that you're notified if we come out with new videos. So silver is an interesting market. Let's just go back over here. So silver is actually on top of our list as being the most bullish extreme, just simply based on how many reports ago traders were at these levels. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the greatest extreme. Let me underline that. But 99 report have passed since large speculators and actually commercials were at these levels, which is astonishing seeing what silver is doing, right? So it simply supports the further strengthening of this metal. I would even consider the possibility of a commercial capitulation in this market. If you look back to June 2025, we had this major sell signal in the market. And since then, the price is just moving higher. And, you know, what commercial capitulation is basically commercials getting margin calls on their hedge positions. They're forced to close their shorts, and that's fueling the market, right? So is this that? I'm not sure. It's not typical for metals. It's something that I've seen many times in soft markets, but it may actually be part of the reason why silver is going, you know, as it is. We have seen this significant drop on Friday. Of course, that's not something we're gonna see in the report. Maybe next week. But it's definitely, the report in itself does not say anything about a trend change. It does support further rallies in silver. The next market is going to be the Canadian dollar. Here we have a 99 report extreme, but in the opposite direction. So this is a bearish COT extreme signal. Bearish. You can see that the last time we were close to zero was actually coinciding with sort of a top or supporting this downtrend over here at this resistance trend line, let's say. So we are getting a bearish reading on the Canadian dollar. If we move on actually to trading view, I can actually show you what the iCOT Intraday Indicator is capable of. This is our own unique tool that we've developed after many years of research, and it's two-part. We have the scores line, which is very similar to a COT index. So we've got speculators and commercials, we can call them. Mind you, this is not data directly from CFTC, but it is our own scoring system. And you can see this is a 1 minute candlestick chart on the Canadian dollar, the US dollar, Canadian dollar currency pair to be specific. So the more popular Forex pair here. And what we can do is we can add this iCOT intraday indicator with AfterSignal to the chart and change the indicator so that one of the pair is focusing on opportunities on the long side, and then the other one is focusing on opportunities on the short side of the market. And of course, this is where Friday ended. Usually volatility and volume decreases, but during the day you can see, even with the default settings over here, how well this indicator catches bottoms and tops. So it's the whole indicator is based off of the commitments of traders analysis technique. So we are measuring stress in the market, but in a much shorter time frame, in real time. Basically, this is a 1 minute candlestick chart on this market. But let's move on and have a look at crude oil, the Brent crude oil to be specific. Here we have a 60 report extreme in large speculators net position. This is more of a bullish COT extreme, suggesting further strengthening in the crude oil market. Now, of course, there's a lot more to do here at COTBase.com. If you are interested in diving deeper into your analysis, then you can definitely do that with our wonderful tools. You can look at the newest COT report types. You can look at futures only, or if you'd like, you can actually analyze options only data, which is interesting. And not only net positions, but all sorts of different data sets are available to you to analyze. You can also dig deep in a specific market that you're trading. Let's say we've just talked about the Canadian dollar. You can open that up and see every detail that you are interested in. And by the way, you can chart everything. Of course, also, download those in different formats. If you are a pro member, you can actually export the data as well. Once again, if you have any questions, feel free to comment underneath the video or send us an email to info@cotbase.com. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Goodbye.